live right here on the DRN. We bring to you round number 7 of the Elite Seniors Racing Championship Dirt Late Model Tour from the beautiful Lucas Oil Speedway in Wheatland, Missouri, for 35 laps on tap. Currently 9 cars on the property, the lowest we've had this season, but still going to have a good race nonetheless. While we have the moment, let's head down trackside for tonight's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Team Holloway Racing Graphics is your one-stop vinyl shop. We specialize in RC racing of all scales. We do full-size race cars as well. Have a sign that needs done, vehicles lettered, we can do it. PT Speed Shop. We rebuild quarter-scale motors, break them in, dyno them, and get you back to victory lane. We have a parts store opening soon. Check it out at ptspeedshop.com. Check us out at teamholloway.com. We would love to take care of your vinyl needs.
As we are back once again, thank you all for the patience as we're going to take a look at the RaceMRL.com machine of one Kyle Adams in the number 9. Here, Keith Kincaid currently sits top of the board in practice for the 3-3-1. Oh, Kyle just ripped the whole right front off of that machine. Not what he wanted to do, for sure, I would think. Like I said, only 9 cars on the property tonight, and this is one of them. In the Tunnel of Towers, GovX ID 988 Veterans Crisis Hotline, Rocky Ridge Vineyard, number 88, out of Fort Ripley, Minnesota. It is David Brill. Brill looking solid all year long so far. Glad to have him back for yet another week of weekly competition. Another car on the raceway as well. In the Checkered Flag Raceway, Tipsy Tim's Distillery. Tipsy Tim's Moonshine, Checkered Flag Cafe, Pet Triple X, Boza by Tice Slackamo Racing, number 45, out of Bonner Springs, Kansas. Only a mile from the Kansas Speedway. It is Tim McDowell. Also TDR Media on that as well for the number 45. Has 15 minutes left in practice here. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's broadcast right here on the DRN. 35 laps on tap. I've been told Scott Tice will be joining me in the booth here tonight shortly. Glad to have him out here as he unfortunately is on a 1-week suspension from the Dirt Late Model Tour after incidents from Bristol last week with one Kyle Adams. As they got into it in turn number 1. And they were all in that big pack of cars that ended Scott Tice's race last week. Get some static shots of the cars rolling around the racetrack. As we're going to take a look at the points leader at the moment. In the Flaming Hot Cheetos K2 Motorsports Elite Seniors Racing Championship, number 17, Heath Rocky Top Kincaid out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And that beautiful Flamin' Hot Cheetos 17 machine was victorious last week at the Bristol Motor Speedway and took home the Wednesday night victory as well the week before at Hickory. But a game changer this past Wednesday night. If you haven't seen that race, I implore you to check it out. Kyle Adams with that number 9 machine was driving the 24 and came home victorious for the U.S. Navy sponsored machine. Also on the racetrack at the moment, in the Dungeon of Speed, the Simdan, number 31, out of Chilhowie, Virginia, it is Chris Farmer. Currently, I believe, 3rd on the board at the moment. No, he is not. He's 4th on the board. Nice to see him out here as well. A guy we haven't really talked much about. He had a very solid finish last week. Finished, I believe it was 2nd last week at the Martinsville Speedway, right behind Kyle Adams. Yes, he was 2nd. I apologize. He was 2nd behind Kyle Adams on Wednesday night in the 100-lap affair at the Martinsville Speedway. In the Artie Ranch and Livestock, number 68, out of McAlpin, Florida, it is Rob Cassidy. Of course, nice to see him out here tonight. And hey, while we're at it, If you would like to join this series and be a part of the action, visit www.racemrl.com/ESRC for more information on how to join and be a part of the next season. I heard at the moment they're making the next season's schedule, so stay tuned for that. Speaking of upcoming events going on within DRN, we have a ton of upcoming events. This coming Wednesday night, we are live right here on the DRN August 19th at the North Wilkesboro Speedway for a 100-lap affair right here for the Elite Seniors Racing Championship. Then we head the following Monday, August 24th, to the I-55 Speedway, Federated Auto Parts Speedway, also known as I-55. I've never been there before personally on the sim, so that could be a fun race. Then we go to the home of the Snowball Derby for the Elite Asphalt Touring Series that following Wednesday, August 26th, at the Five Flags Speedway for, once again, a 100-lap affair. Then the Elite Seniors Racing Championship Dirt Late Model Tour rolls on August 31st to yet another racetrack I have never been to or visited on the sim, or even seen a race in real life of, Weed Sport, for the Elite Dirt Late Model Tour as well. Then this touring series returns to South Boston Speedway in South Boston, Virginia on September 2nd for a 100-lap affair. And then we close out with the Dirt Late Model Tour finale for Season 5 at the Big E, the Eldora Speedway in Ohio for 35 laps there. And of course, rounding out the ESRC schedule for the season for the Elite Asphalt Touring Series side of things, 200 laps at the Nashville Fairgrounds, which I've been told by several of the staff in the Elite Seniors Racing Championship that it might be a retro night once again, sponsored by TDR Media. And Little Birdie told me that RaceMRL.com will be putting up some money, doubling the TDR Media $10 award for the best paint scheme that night. We will just have to see. Stay tuned and find out. Or visit the Elite Seniors Racing Championship Facebook page for all the information, of course, on how to join and other things like that. And, of course, the upcoming schedule for Season 6, among many other things you can find on there. Of course, they're Tuesday nights tomorrow at the Bristol Motor Speedway for the Legends of Draft Series. As well, 80 laps on tap for that tomorrow night will be on the Elite Seniors Racing Championship YouTube channel this coming Friday as well. And there are the following Tuesday, 100 laps at the Bristol Motor Speedway. So check them out, of course, among many other things going on within the Elite Seniors Racing Championship Discord and within the MRL Discord. Of course, coming up in October, we have the RaceMRL.com Kings Modified Tour. We already have a ton of signups for that series. Will be broadcasted live right here on the DRN as well, if you would like to check that out, or if you would like to maybe think about registering for that series. Registration is open right now. As well as Dirt to Daytona's register for MRL for Season 1, starting September 3rd, Thursday nights. 6 weeks of competition, starting at the Volusia Speedway in the dirt street stock, going all the way to the NASCAR Next Gen car at Daytona, through the 360 wing sprint cars, NASCAR Tour Type Modifieds, super late models, the trucks, and of course the Next Gen car. As I mentioned a little earlier, a ton of action going on within the Misfit Racing Leagues and all their partnership programs as well. Of course, Kings Modified Tour starting up in October. Their first event, October 6th, 75 laps at Thompson. Of course, will be all of season 2 will be broadcasted live and in living color right here on the DRN. Keith Kincaid still top of the board with 5 minutes left in qualifying. Or I'm sorry, 5 minutes left in practice. As we take a look at the 21 race graphics, J-Max, Speed Shop, Smoke Train, Racing number 22, 21 out of Chanhassen, Minnesota. It is Quinn McLean. We ride on board with that number 21 machine. Getting a little squirrely in turn number 4. Not going to hurt nobody. Leader lap is a 14.565. Quinn's lap this time by 15.0. Good comeback there. As the timer for practice winds down, we're going to take a quick commercial break right here on the DRN. Stay with us. Live on the DRN.
Team Holloway Racing Graphics is your one-stop vinyl shop. We specialize in RC racing of all scales. We do full-size race cars as well. Have a sign that needs done, vehicles lettered, we can do it. PT Speed Shop. We rebuild quarter-scale motors, break them in, dyno them, and get you back to victory lane. We have a parts store opening soon. Check it out at ptspeedshop.com. Check us out at teamholloway.com. We would love to take care of your vinyl needs.
As we are back live right here in Wheatland, Missouri. Practice is just wrapping up here. And I believe I have Scott Tice joining me here in the booth. Scott, nice to have you here tonight.
Thank you, Timmy. It's good to be here watching the guys turn some laps here at Lucas Oil, and it's going to be a good race tonight. I got that feeling.
Very well said. It should honestly be a great race, and it's a very wide racetrack, racing surface, if you will. As we see Kyle Adams go around the track, Def- definitely a lot of opportunities for passing and slide jobs and different opportunities to do different things for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But qualifying is going to be key. Qualifying, getting a good start up front. You'll see, this track, as wide as it is, that cushion's going to get very narrow. And if the track goes up to the top like that, you're going to have a very thin, margin for error there. You'll have a couple guys on the bottom trying to chance it, but this track usually goes top dominant, and it'll be a good race.
Yeah, for sure. We saw a couple people during practice. The wall just reached out and bit them for a few of these cars on the raceway. But I mean, as you said, it's normally a top dominant racetrack. I personally have never even raced here on the sim, so it should be a, let alone broadcast, so it should be a fun thing as we see Kyle Adams pulling into the tech shed, or well, attempting to pull into the tech shed. As practice is just about to wrap up, we will get to qualifying here shortly.
Good deal.
As the first car we're going to look at here to take time in the RD Ranch number 68 machine out of McAlpin, Florida, it is Rob Cassidy. Cassidy had a very solid finish this past Wednesday night at the Martinsville Speedway, finishing second to the owner of MRL himself, Kyle Adams, who is racing with us tonight. I don't know if you had a chance to see that race, but definitely one to look back on.
I did. I did see the race. It was an awesome race, and Rob's just been there all year, dirt and asphalt, both of them. So he should do good here tonight.
For sure. At top of the board at the moment, David Bro with a 14.252. We'll see if that holds. Brett McCoy making the car count 10 cars tonight. Actually, I'm sorry, 11 cars here on the property, as the general Andy Patton out to take time. Two laps on the board for these drivers. And in the Patton Triple X Tire Shine A&J Custom Creations Checkered Flag RC Raceway track, Tipsy Tim's Distillery, number 87 for the general Andy Patton out of Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. First lap, going to be a 15.543. Got to pick it up this lap if he wants to get to the top of the board through 3 and 4. He will pick it up. 14.220 puts him third quickest. As we look at Rocky Top, Keith Kincaid puts it to the top of the board. 14.024. Lightning fast lap here, Scott.
Absolutely, he is so good here. He's going to be one to watch. But don't count Dave Brill and Andy Patton out just yet.
You said it. They've been very solid all season. Top 3 cars for all 3 of those drivers. Honestly, the most
Absolutely.
Combination of drivers we've seen in the top 3 for the Dirt Late Model Tour this season has been those 3 drivers. Of course, you think back to Charlotte when David Brill was towards the front of the field. I'm sorry, Andy Patton finished second in that race to Keith Kincaid. Of course, Knoxville earlier this season was leading most of the laps, and with a handful of laps to go, lost it to Keith after a slip up in turn number 2, heading down the back straightaway. Of course, Brett McCoy's another one who's been within the top 3 of cars this season.
Yeah, and that's a story in itself because Brett's a great guy and he's an asphalt guy by nature, right? And he has come in and he has taken to this dirt, and that consistency, that asphalt consistency is paying off.
Yeah, he was one we're used to seeing on, even in the past, like on the Misfit Racing League Touring Series as well. So, I mean, good to see him back in some sort of MRL thing, and I know he won the championship here a couple seasons. So he knows how to get it done on the asphalt. But he's also, slowly getting the hang of this whole dirt thing.
Absolutely.
While we wait for the heats, though, take a quick look at the Dirt Late Model Tour point standings. Keith Kincaid currently top of the board with a total of 200 points, actually. He's the first person in both series to reach 200 points. Excuse me. General Andy Patton in second with 192 points, 8 points behind the leader. Greg Parmalee, 16 points back of Kincaid in the third spot. David Brill in fourth, tied with Brett McCoy, both 26 points back. Rob Cassidy gained 3 spots off of that last race. So great for him. He's 33 points back, currently in the 6th position. Gary Offut, who is not here on the property tonight, in that 94 machine, in the 6th spot, tied with Rob Cassidy. 8th, currently by himself, is Russ Harold. 9th is actually you, Scott. 10th, Chris Farmer.
All right.
Quinn McLean is tied for 10th as well with Chris, both 41 points back of the leader. In 12th is Tim McDowell in that TDR Media Tipsy Tim's Distillery machine in the 45, who we saw earlier in tonight's broadcast, 43 points behind. 45 in 13th, 45 points back is Chris Reinald, who's also not here tonight. Chris Hall, in 14th. Kyle Adams, 95 points behind the leader, but we don't really count him. Ben Gunther, 16th in points, and rounding out the 17-car point standings is Sean McLean, who, of course, is not on the property tonight as well. As Scott, we're going to take a quick look at your starting lineup.
Sounds good.
And for some reason, it's not. Oh. Starting position number 1. I believe this is actually wrong, so I'll go off what it says on the timing of scoring at the moment. Rob Cassidy in the 68 machine is not on the pole. Sorry, it is Keith Kincaid of the Flamin' Hot Cheetos number 17 machine, starting on the pole alongside the General, Andy Patton. Row number 2 puts Kyle Adams and Chris Farmer together, and Rob Cassidy and Chris Hall round out your 6-car field for heat race number 1. Scott, you have any thoughts about heat race number 1 here?
Yeah, I mean, you want to finish as the best you can here because, like I said, this track, may go away, and starting spots is going to be very, very crucial. So it's hard to be a good one. We're finna see.
As you said, yeah, I mean, it's top dominant racetrack. 10 laps on tap for heat race number 1. About to let him loose into turn 1 and 2. Or onto the front straightaway. Green flag in the air for Kincaid and Andy Patton as they slide into turns 1 and 2. Kincaid here for...
Yeah, Keith's just so smooth right there. Ooh.
Very true. Yeah, I was about to say he was absolutely gone on the start here. But Andy Patton and Kyle Adams were battling pretty hard here for that second position at the moment. But right behind them, Chris Farmer and Rob Cassidy side by side as the battle dissipates. Continuing it here as...
This hasn't become a Chris Farmer track yet. It's got to have a little bit of a berm, and then that cat's on a rail. So he's just waiting, but man, look how smooth and consistent this guy is. I'm looking at lap time, and it's just insane.
Yeah, Keith Kincaid, very, very consistent when it comes to the dirt plate model. and already 1.2 seconds ahead of Andy Patton. Kyle Adams just behind him. But yeah, the field is
Well, if
relatively.
I'm Andy, I'm sitting in a good spot right there. You know, if I'm Andy, I want to stay right where I'm at. You know, I'll be right behind Keith to start the race on the inside. You know, um, I would be happy right there because I think we're going to see a totally different track come feature time.
Very true. It could honestly be a night race. I have no idea. They didn't tell me. So we'll see if it stays this track state or goes to the nighttime, which will definitely have some differing qualities from what we saw in practice and what we saw in qualifying.
Absolutely.
Kyle Adams tags the wall off of corner number 2, and the white flag in the air for Kincaid. Keith Kincaid gonna pull around turn number 4 and be victorious in heat race number 1. Well done for all the drivers here. Andy Patton finishes 2nd, Kyle Adams 3rd, Chris Farmer 4th, Chris Hall 5th, and rounding out heat race number 1 is Rob Cassidy in the 6th spot. And as for heat race number 2, your starting lineup for that heat race is going to be in the Tunnel to Towers GovX ID 988 Veterans Crisis Hotline, Rocky Ridge Laborers, Rocky Ridge Vineyard, number 88 out of Fort Ripley, Minnesota. It is David Brill. On his outside, in the number 19 machine, out of New Kensington, Pennsylvania, in the AARP number 19, it is Russ Herold. Starting in that 3rd spot, in the Checkered Flag RC Raceway, Tipsy Tim Distillery, Checkered Flag Cafe, Patton's Triple X, Mosa by Tice, Slackamo Racing number 45, it's going to be Tim McDowell. Starting position number 4, in the Finnegan's RP Nielsen Racing left-hander chassis, Rapco Brakes number 1 machine, it is going to be out of Poplar Grove, Illinois, Brett McCoy. And starting scratch on the field, in the 21 Race Graphics J-Max Speed Shop Smoke Train Racing number 21 out of Chanhassen, Minnesota, it's going to be Quinn McLean. As they let him loose coming off of turn number 4, green flag in the air here, Scott.
Yep. Oh, almost had a little impact there, but look at Tim McDowell. I mean,
Ooh,
digging on the bottom.
Getting a little close to the tractor tire. Brett really has nowhere to go. Oh, they make contact. Russ Herold. And, Quinn McLean gets some front nose damage on that as well. David Brill out to the races. A 1.4 second lead. A bigger lead than Keith had, to be honest with you. Even though they have the incidents, but Brett McCoy just behind him. As Quinn McLean continues
Like Tim fell back to 4th, but man, he's been running good too.
Washed up a little bit there, and Quinn McLean was able to get right on the back bumper here. Slide job, gonna make it stick on the front nose of that number 45 machine, as David Brill makes it a 2.5 second lead this time by with 6 laps to go here, Scott.
Yeah, they kind of got him spaced out. Dave is super smooth and consistent. He has really picked up his game, and he is just gone. He is setting sail. He's thinking about what he's going to do for the feature right now.
Very true, and you really have to think about it, because it is one of those things. How am I going to beat Keith Kincaid? You know, Rocky Top has been so consistent the whole season. I mean, even on the Dirt Late Model Tour, he's 6 for 6 on this tour this year out of the 10 races we are scheduled to run this year for season number 5. Of course, he was only beaten on the asphalt by Brett McCoy in the season opener at the New Smyrna Speedway, as well as Kyle Adams last week, which Keith did not have a good run last week and was able to have. I believe Brett is right on the rear bumper of him for the asphalt points. Yeah, he's only 5 points behind now. So it's definitely going to be, and they both had a bad race last week, so it allowed third place to catch up as well. So, I mean, but the on the dirt side of things for the Elite Seniors Racing Championship, there's really no contention there. I mean, there is, but Andy Patton's 8 points away. You got to make up 8 points tonight to be able to go and do that as Braille crosses the line. Your heat race number 2 winner here, Scott. Brett McCoy in position number 2, Russ Herold position number 3, Quinn McLean for 4, and Tim McDowell rounds out the field in position number 5.
Good clean racing. That was great. So I think what we're going to see in this feature depends on what the track does. 9 cars. It's not a lot of cars to beat up a track in 5 minutes. So it's going to be interesting. If the bottom's there and you could run bottom and top, man, this track is really racy. But if it just goes top dominant, man, you got to ride that razor thin line and it gets hairy. It's going to be fun.
Very, very true. And of course, if you're just tuning in, I am your host for the evening, Tim Dayton, alongside Scott Tice in the booth. We're just in warm-ups at the moment, trying to get everything sorted and ready to go. And do me a favor, guys, if you're new here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let us know what you think about tonight's broadcast. The Elite Seniors Racing Championship only right here on the DRN. Broadcasted live and in color for you fans at home.
It's a really shame. It's a bad deal that Greg's not here tonight. He is so good at this track too. Everybody seems to have a track that they can kind of relate to, that kind of fits their style. And Greg's kind of a Knoxville, Lucas Oil kind of guy. Right there with Andy Patton. If you put Andy at Knoxville, he's going to be hard to beat. And I was really looking forward to Greg being here tonight and putting on a show. But we're going to have a great show with what we got. It's just I was hoping that he would be here tonight, but maybe he had something come up.
Yeah. I mean, you said it earlier. You said there were only 9 cars on the property. At the end of practice, there was 11 cars on the property, so it's better than nothing at the end of the day, and they'll do a fine job trying to break in the track a little bit. And yeah, it's a
Absolutely.
shame that Greg Parmalee isn't here tonight. Of course, sliding mode himself in that 04 machine. Not registered for tonight's event. I believe he was pretty solid in the points as well. Yeah, he was 3rd in points coming on tonight. Of course, 8 points back behind the leader. I'm sorry, 16 points back behind the leader. 8 points behind him. That gap will just continue to lengthen and grow as the season goes on.
Got about a minute and a half left to practice, and track don't look to be too hurt right now. I still see some people running the middle and low, so the first half of this race may be very interesting.
Very true. It should be a good race when it comes to this beautiful flat, well, somewhat flat surface in Wheatland, Missouri. Of course, a frequent stop of the High Limit Sprint Car Tour.
Yeah, this is a super nice facility. We've raced there a couple of times, and it's just top of the line. But I know this isn't what Chris Farmer wanted to see. He wanted to see this track to get beat up, and so he'd have that cushion to bang off of. But maybe he'll get it. It's just going to take it a little time. But I'm ready to drop the green flag. Come on, guys. Right there, coming out of 4, kind of going in the middle of 3 and 4, there's a shelf there. So if you get up too high, your car just kind of flattens out and lays over. And if you hit that wrong, it's game over. So, and that line usually gets right there at the ragged edge. Right there.
As Keith Kincaid smacks the wall just towards the end of the warm-up. And absolutely destroys the right front of him. But I mean, hey, that's what the warm-up's for, getting all the wrecks and all the craziness out prior to hitting the race. As we are going to get to your starting lineup officially, graphic on the DRN. Row number 1 brings you the Flamin' Hot Cheetos K2 Motorsports Elite Seniors Racing Championship, number 17 for Keith Rocky Top Kincaid, the points leader. Starting on his outside, in the Tunnel to Towers GovX ID, Rocky Ridge Laborers 988 Crisis Hotline, Rocky Ridge Vineyard, number 88 machine out of Fort Ripley, Minnesota. It is David Brill. Row number 2 brings you Andy Patton and the A&J Custom Creations number 87 machine alongside the left-hander chassis Rapco Brakes number 1 machine of Brett McCoy. Row number 3 brings you the RaceMRL.com machine for Kyle Adams alongside Russ Herold in the AARP machine. Row number 4 brings you the number 31 Dungeon of Speed Simden number 31 machine for Chris Farmer. Alongside is Quinn McLean in the 21 Race Graphics machine. As the rest of the field rolls by on your screen. Coming to the green flag, letting them loose right here on the DRN. As we were letting them go here, Scott, in the early laps of tonight's feature event, almost 3 wide for position number 2.
Yeah, that's just a gaggle of cars right there. Looks like everybody's going up to the high side, so there must not be much left down there, but we'll see.
As Brett McCoy all squarely in the 5th position at the moment. Smacked the wall on the back straightaway. Really, really hard with that right side of that machine. As Chris Hall sent to the pits for, actually, he believed he crashed. So that's unfortunate for Chris Hall. As Rocky Top still out front as we get to lap number 6, already catching Quinn McLean and the number 21. The number 21 machine, excuse me.
Looks like Chris Farmer had some trouble there at the start of the race and got behind the 8 ball, but I promise this will be a guy that'll be up there close to the front by the end of the race.
Ooh, David Brill and Kyle Adams make contact off of corner number 4 for that 3rd position as Kyle passed him the lap before. A fantastic slider from him as Brill looks to hunt him down now for that position. 28 laps to go here in tonight's feature event. These features usually go quick here, Scott.
Yeah, these guys run clean, and if you don't have no cautions, this thing will be over before you know it.
Ooh, Brill nails the wall. The whole spoiler of that machine came off the car. Not sure if it is on the racetrack or what, but Brill still trying to track down Kyle Adams here as Andy Patton passes Quinn McLean. McLean a lap down here in the pit stop. As Rocky Top pulling away here, Scott. In that number 17 machine.
Yeah. He just hits his marks, and he is just tough to beat. So smooth, so consistent.
Very, very true. When it comes to that 17 machine, even on asphalt, he is very, very consistent. And he's shown it this season, even in the dirt, of course on the dirt side of things, winning 6 of the 7 rounds we've had so far. 22 laps to go this time by when he crosses the stripe. But does the General have anything for that number 17 machine? Has to pass Tim McDowell, who is currently a lap down in the 9th position. And I believe the next on the board to be a lap car will be Russ Harold in the 8th spot, along with Chris Farmer, who is just in front of him in the gaggle of cars, along with Rob Cassidy. Heath just coming up to everybody really, really quick.
Yeah, laps don't go very long here when you're stretched out like this. You've got a clean racetrack, and he's hitting that cushion just perfect. You know.
That was a beautiful battle.
Rob
there
went
between-
over the top there just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there was a beautiful battle between those 3 cars for a couple laps before, as Keith looks to the inside of Russ Harold. Going to put him a lap down, as Rob Cassidy in the RD Ranch number 68 machine is the next one, looking to save himself from going a lap down here with 17 laps to go. He will not. He will secede the position made. As Chris Farmer, as you have been talking about all night, is usually good at tracks like this. But about to go a lap down, and that will not be what he wants, for sure.
No, you don't want to go a lap down. He just had some trouble, got crossed up on the start there, but he just needed a caution, and it don't look like he's going to get it. So that's part of racing.
Yeah, 15 laps to go. 14 this time by. As we go on board with
Andy looks like he's got a pretty solid lead there in second. So if everybody can keep their nose clean, this is going to be a good clean race. Oh, Russell just hit the wall.
As I believe Russ
that may be a
Harold
yellow.
will bring out the caution. Yes, he will. Russ Harold in the pit lane now. We're going to take a look back at the RD Ranch replay to see what happened there. Thought out of the corner of our eye and the static camera of turn number 3. Yeah, Russ Harold was following behind Rob Cassidy, smacks the wall on the front straightaway, and lost the right front. And it looks like maybe his wheel might have disconnected there, Scott, as he just full throttled it.
Yeah, I don't
into
know
the
what
turn
happened.
1 wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was very strange. I have definitely seen something like that before, when you, of course, lose your pedals or your pedals disconnect, stuff like that. It's not what he wanted there, for sure.
And also unfortunate for him, he's been running a lot better this year, and all these guys. I mean, man, this is such a competitive group, and everybody has picked up their game. And I don't know exactly what happened there. It would be interesting to know
As you
as
say
we
that,
get ready for a restart.
yeah, the iRacing pace truck dives down the pit lane. Keith Kincaid, Andy Patton on the front row. Kyle Adams, Brett McCoy in row number 2. As we head to the green flag, starter in the flag stand waves the green flag, and they are off to the races. Here early on, Kyle Adams looks under the General in turn 3 and 4, as Keith not really pulling away from them this time. 11 laps to go for the Rocky Top himself. Kyle Adams takes the spot from the General in position number 2.
Yeah, Andy had a mishap there coming out of 2 and opened up the door for Kyle, and he capitalized on it. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, as Brett McCoy looks to capitalize as well on this battle here, as Keith now pulling away with 9 laps to go, is second ahead as these two battle. Of course, Keith probably loves what he's seeing in his mirror right now.
Absolutely. As a leader, you want to see those guys behind you just battling. So he's smiling right now, I promise.
Ooh, but that might do the 87 machine in, hitting the wall as Brett McCoy right on his back bumper, looking to the inside of the General. As Kyle Adams really keeping Keith at a 9/10 of a second lead, as Tim McDowell passes Quinn McLean for position number 8 on the raceway. Andy and Kyle going at it here for that second spot. 6 laps to go on the board, coming to 5 this time by. Russ Harold has jumped to the pit lane. There's a little trouble for Brett McCoy there going down the back straightaway all the way low to the inside of the racetrack. 4 laps to go here for the leader, Rocky Top.
Yeah, he's just focusing right now. He wants to hit his marks, and he wants to not make any mistakes, which you don't see that out of Keith. And you see how they're running a little bit lower, so that top's done going away a little bit. So, and Keith is an expert at he's finding that grip. He knows exactly where he needs to run.
As we're taking a look on board with Kyle Adams in the number 9 machine, slowly gaining time on Kincaid, especially in that corner, but he loses it on the straightaway. 2 laps to go for Rocky Top. White flag in the air, presented by RaceEmerald.com. This time by Kincaid looks to cruise to a 7th feature win in a row here on the Elite Late Model Dirt Tour. Coming off of turn number 4, he will. Keith Kincaid victorious at the Lucas Oil Speedway in Wheatland, Missouri for race number 7 of season number 5.
That was a great race. 1 caution. I mean, just a good deal there. Couldn't ask for any better race.
Yeah, as we look down the order, of course, Keith Kincaid victorious here tonight, position number 1. Kyle Adams finishes second with another strong finish here from Adams in the Elite Dirt Late Model Tour. Andy Patton, the General, comes home 3rd. Brett McCoy 1 spot short of a podium in 4th. Chris Farmer, great comeback here in the 5th position. David Brill in 6th. Rob Cassidy for 7, a lap down. Tim McDowell, great strong finish in 8th for him, a lap down. Quinn McLean, 9th, also a lap down. And Russ Harold and Chris Hall, the 2 cars out of the race. As we will be right back here on the DRN to talk to your third, second, and first place finishers after this.
Team Holloway Racing Graphics is your one-stop vinyl shop. We specialize in RC racing of all scales. We do full-size race cars as well. Have a sign that needs done? Vehicles lettered? We can do it. PT Speed Shop. We rebuild quarter-scale motors, break them in, dyno them, and get you back to victory lane. We have a parts store opening soon. Check it out at ptspeedshop.com. Check us out at teamholloway.com. We would love to take care of your vinyl needs.
Timmy,
Hey, Andy, this is Scott, man. You got a copy?
I got you, buddy. How you doing?
Doing great. Look, I got to ask you, you come in late, you qualified, and then you went out there in the heat, had a strong heat race. You was running a solid second. What did you think when that yellow flag come out?
I was thinking I had like 2-second lead on Kyle at that point. I really didn't need it because I wasn't going to catch Keith no matter what. And I figured, why can't we just finish it? Now, when I came downstairs at 7:45, I had 1% on my headset.
Oh, no.
Like, dude, I'm not even going to race. I'm not going to be able to. I plugged it in and it got up to 40% before, no practice, but right before qualifying. And
I was wondering what took you so long to get to show your face. I thought maybe you had something and just didn't want to show your hand. But one more question real quick. Okay, so we had the caution, right? And you come out and you're coming out of turn 2 and you get squirrely. What happened? Did you break traction or you just, have one of those moments?
Yep. It seems like a lot of times on the restarts, I need a lap or two to get the car balanced. And that's what happened. I just went in too hot and trying to stay with Keith. I just overdrove the car into the turn and got loose, and that was all it took for Kyle to get under me.
It happens. Well, look, man, it was a great race. Congratulations on your 3rd place. You got anybody you need to thank?
Well, I want to definitely reach out, to Tice's Catfish Farm. That's my primary sponsor today.
They do a lot. They do a lot.
They do. Oh my goodness! You ever seen some of the catfish that come out of there? Bigger than a man. Yep. It's good to hear your voice, Scott. I haven't heard you in a while.
Yeah. Well, look, man, it was a great race. Congrats on your 3rd.
Yep.
We're gonna pull the 2nd place guy up here and give him a hard time.
All right. Well, do that. You definitely should. I got to tune in for this interview. This ought to be neat.
Congrats, brother.
Man, thanks.
As we are here with your 2nd place finisher here tonight, Kyle. Another strong run here in the Elite Seniors Racing Championship. Tell us about how your race went, my friend.
Yeah, it's a very difficult track. That's the first time I raced that with these guys, and yeah, that's difficult. That berm up there at the top, it'll reach out and grab you. Once you're over the top, good luck getting back.
Yeah, towards the later stages of the race, we saw a lot of you go to the bottom. Was the top just not as dominant, not the preferred line? The bottom was just you were just trying to catch Keith, or?
Yeah, that the top side, I don't know, maybe right after that restart, give it a lap or two, it went away. And I started throwing it on the bottom and realizing I'd pick up a car length or two on Keith on exit. So then Andy started doing it too, and then Keith looked in the mirror and saw that we were doing it, and he was gone from there. But yeah, no, the bottom definitely gripped up there at the very end. So
yeah,
Kyle, this is Scott. So I got a question. I have to know something. So halfway of the race, a little over halfway, we get the caution. What's going through your mind for the restart?
Oh man, so I'm already nervous because I'm not a dirt racer very often, so the restarts are tough because you can overspin the tire and then mess up the whole restart. So my focus was restarting on the bottom, was making sure that I don't spin the tires, and that once we get into one, I give the outside enough room, but at the same time I don't want to give up any ground because that's as close as I was going to get to Keith, unless we had another caution. So yeah, you got to take advantage of the opportunities that are dealt. So
It's a rhythm thing. So how do you on a restart? How do you mentally get back into that rhythm? What are you thinking? I know we're not going to spin tires, right? The track's used up at this point. So what is your mindset to get that rhythm back to, because you're going to be pinched down,
Well, the good news is like with this track, I actually felt very comfortable on the bottom. So just reassuring myself that, trust the car, trust what I got left on the right rear, that whatever I throw in going into one's going to stick on the bottom. And really it's like I was more focused on the exit in 2 than the entrance in 1, because
right,
that's going to determine is Keith going to run away, or am I going to at least keep him within a car length or 2? And yeah, we saw what happened.
Good job.
He was able to get a good restart, but yeah, I just wish we had a few more laps. We might have been able to catch him. Well, he said he was struggling a little bit on the top, so.
Yeah, we had a
Great job.
Yeah, Kyle, early tonight somebody made the suggestion for a 50 lapper. Maybe that would have helped you.
You know what? It just might have, but that's also more opportunity to go off the top of the berm too. So maybe not.
Very, very true. Any family, friends, sponsors you'd like to thank for your second place finish here tonight, Kyle?
Oh, sure. Got to thank everybody here with ASRC. Big contribution to our really big milestone that we're approaching right now within MRL. We are just an inch away from hitting 1,000 members. So big shout out for ESRC. Got to thank Spartamax at spartamax.net, Misfit Productions, Molly Custom Silver, Fire Department Coffee, and you for jumping on board, broadcasting, and Scott for hopping in the booth and helping you out.
I enjoyed it. I got to work with a professional for once in my life.
I wouldn't say professional, but that's here nor there. Congratulations on your second place finish here tonight, Kyle.
Yeah, congrats, Kyle. Good run.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
As we are here talking to your feature winner once again for the 7th week in a row in Team Holloway Racing at Graphics Victory Lane, it is going to be Rocky Top, Keith Kincaid. Keith, tell us how your race went, man. You were on rails.
Yeah, I always like this track. It's a fun track. The car ran good. Track changed up a little bit. I thought it would stay top dominant for the whole run, but the cushion just totally went away in turn 2 coming off, and kind of jumped it a couple times and decided to kind of put it to the bottom and kind of protect the lead.
Keith, did that surprise you any? Because we were talking, and we had 10 cars, 9, 10 cars there for a long time, and the top going away that fast. Did that surprise you any at all?
Yeah, it surprised me a lot. I figured that the cushion would be pretty thick tonight and be partially down the track, but man, it kept moving up until it disappeared.
Well, I've asked the top, the second and third place car, so I'm going to ask you, what goes through Keith Kincaid's mind when he sees that yellow after so many green flag laps?
Yeah, that was kind of a heartbreaker there. I knew I had a pretty good lead and had a 2 or 3 lap cars between me and second place, so I was hoping we'd go green to the end. So it was not a wanted experience, but hey, we made it through it and was able to put it on the top step.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, Keith, but now you really have to be thinking about points. What's going through your mind point standings wise?
Yeah, Tim, man, this is like a banner year. It's seems like I can do no wrong on dirt. Asphalt just went pretty good too. Last week in Martinsville was not my best experience, but Martinsville never treats me good, so that was kind of to be expected. So yeah, we're just going to run it out. We're going to try to stay consistent, kind of keep it on the podium, and finish this season out strong.
All right. Well, any family, friends, sponsors you'd like to shout out here for tonight's Team Holloway Racing and Graphics victory?
Yeah, first and foremost, I'd like to thank all the racers that keep coming out and supporting the league. There's no way we can do this without this great group of racers. I know summertime's hard for everybody to get out. I can't wait for this fall, this winter. We should see some big car counts. I'd like to thank all our wonderful sponsors: Checkered Flag RC Raceway in Kansas, RD Ranch, Ruck Offshore, Wiley Raceway, Slot Car Racing in Illinois, MRL for everything they do for us, and just happy to be here in Team Holloway Racing and Graphics Victory Lane.
All right. Well, we'll let you go here, Keith, to enjoy your victory here. Congratulations, my friend.
Yep. Congrats, bud.
Thank you, guys.
As that will conclude tonight's proceedings here for the 35-lap feature right here at the Lucas Oil Speedway. I have been your main commentator for tonight, Tim Dayton, alongside Scott Tice. We were proud to bring you the action right here on the DRN, and we will see you next time this Wednesday night at the North Wilkesboro Speedway right here on the DRN.